Next up, we're gonna take some recycled materials and make a coiled denim basket. It's a lot of fun because you can recycle and craft at the same time. We're gonna start off by seeing what we need, and that will include some coiling cord, some fabric, and you're going to need pieces of fabric about 6 or 7 inches wide by 38 to 44 inches long. You're going to need a ruler and a pencil to mark, some beads, a bead threading tool, some masking tape and white glue, and you might want to have some clothespins or binder clips on hand to help you out. So let's get started. We're going to start off by taking a look at our fabric, and this one's a little small because I've already made some strips, but we're going to use our pencil and our ruler and mark 1-inch strips, like so. And then we're going to use our scissors and make snips on those lines. Now, we don't have to use our scissors to cut the whole thing because we're going to rip our strips. It's actually a lot of fun, and because of the way fabric is made, it is a nice straight line. So go ahead and make maybe, 6 or 8 of these strips and set them aside. And you can do the same thing with your lightweight cotton fabric too. So you're going to get all those together and get them ready to use. And next, we're going to actually use the denim strips and wrap it around. But we don't want this cord to become frayed, so we're going to use a little bit of masking tape and just kind of tape off the end so that as we're working, it stays nice and tidy, kind of like this. And then we're going to do is take a bit of our denim fabric, and if you have any of these like wonky bits at the end, you can either rip them, or if it's too much, go ahead and trim them off. And we're going to start coiling around. So the way we're going to do this to get started is use a little bit of white glue on the end, like this, and kind of fold it over, and then just use your thumb and your finger and kind of squish it together and start wrapping like this. Now, this is where that clip comes in handy. So as it's setting up and drying, you can use the clip like this to hold it tight for you. And then we're just going to keep wrapping and overlapping, a rhyme, so that the cord doesn't show. And if you feel like you need to, you could put a few more dots of white glue just to hold it all together. So we're going to keep on wrapping all the way around until we've used up that piece of denim. Now, what's going to happen is this. You're going to say, uh-oh, I ran out of fabric. So I'm going to show you how to do an overlap. You're going to wrap it up as much as you can, put in a dot of white glue, and then start your next piece like this and kind of fold it over. And there you go, nice and tidy, and no white cord is showing. So you're going to want to, again, finish up until everything is all wrapped up on the end. So wrapping, you can kind of get a nice little rhythm here with this too. So all the way to the end. And the length of your coil will determine how big your pot or your trivet is going to be. Because if you coil it flat, it's a trivet, and if you make it go up, then it's a bowl. So let's go ahead and trim off this extra bit, because now I use the masking tape, it won't unravel. And now we're going to start actually coiling it around in a circle. So you're going to pinch it around, you're going to leave a hole in the middle, and let's grab that binder clip again and hold it like this. So we're going to take our long strip, those are not long strips, I need the long strip of fabric, like so. And this is your recycled fabric. This is the lighter weight stuff. Thread it through the hole, and we're going to tie an overhand knot. Now that sounds fancy. It's not. It just means your one side's going to go over the other, and then you pull it tight like this. Okay? So just give it a little knot. And we're going to do it twice for good measure to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Boom. Okay. Now I've got another piece kind of threaded through. I coil it so it's nice and tight up next to each other. And I'm going to do the same thing. Let's go ahead. Kind of make sure it's, even so that your tails are the same length. And then again, make one overhand knot. Boom. And then finish it with another one. like so. And we're gonna just keep working around. Now, you have a choice. You can either do 4 lengths of fabric to hold it together, or you can do 6. It depends on how fancy you wanna be. But either way, you're gonna make sure that you've got at least 4 of these so that it starts holding together. Now, once they're all started, you're going to coil and knot in a circle. So see how I've got this one here, and I'm gonna show you a few more. This one has the 6, so you get an idea of what that looks like. So we're gonna wrap it around so it's nice and tight, and coil, and give it a little knot. Now, you have to kind of experiment with how holding it feels natural to you. You might wanna hold it flat. I kind of like to hold it up and down like this, and then give it a little knot. And again, you're just gonna kind of finish until you go all the way and you get back to the front, and you're gonna give it one more knot and then wrap and give it a little bit of glue. Now I'm gonna pick up the other one and finish it off. So you can see here I had some leftover cord, so I'm gonna go ahead and just snip off the excess and unwrap that tape and use my glue to glue it down and cover up the ends a little bit. And then one more knot, and I think I'm ready to go. Now you're gonna find that you have these kind of leftover long dangly ribbons, so why not tie them off with some pretty beads? And what I'm gonna do here is use my bead threading tool, slip this on. Actually, I think I put the bead through first, and then I thread my fabric ribbon through and pull the bead off onto the little ribbon here. I can tie a knot and then trim the extra like this. Okay, so I'm gonna trim it off here. And again, if you wanna use a little bit of white glue so that it doesn't become unknotted, that might be a nice, safe way to finish it. And when you get all done, you'll see you have a nice little beaded fringe and a handy little bowl for all your trinkets.